when was it that when was it that you guys were hiring for the positions on the line and to ramp up the work with the hand sanitizer?
So Jeff, we started the process in early April, and we were fully staffed by the end of May, and have been running pretty much 7 days a week, 24 hours a day for the month of most of June and almost all of July. So I think we started officially the second week of June and have been running pretty hard and fast since. And we had 52 positions that we need to fill in a pretty short order. And we did have well over 500 applications for that 52. You know, I feel like we got some very, you know, high quality people that probably in a normal circumstance we wouldn't have been able to attract to the company, because they were probably in a position that that they were happy, but either through furloughs or downsizing, we were able to bring some people on.
Do you think that it might have been a little bit harder, even if if your efforts had started 6 weeks later, maybe in the middle of the pandemic unemployment assistance?
Yeah, you know, no doubt. Look, and it's hard to blame somebody who is either furloughed and waiting to hear whether they're going to come back, or somebody that is unemployed but they are enticed by you know, a weekly check that's in some cases substantially more than what they were making, you know, working those 40 hours. I mean, if you look at the sort of the opportunity to have the $600 supplement, and then even at the minimum level, you're talking about somebody that could be making between the low $19 an hour to $21 an hour, where they may have been making 13 or 14 at their current position, or less. So it's hard to criticize somebody for saying, I'm going to ride this out, and those jobs most likely may be there when that goes away. So we have had some of that where people have you know, debated and walked away from an opportunity to join us while the supplemental unemployment insurance is running. And now we're in a position to see truly what that impact might look like based on what the Congress is going to do in the next few weeks.
Do you support any more federal backstop? And if so, would you think that something less than $600 a week would be a better option?
You know, I think you've got it when you're looking at you know, unemployment rates in the high mid-teens, and potentially, if you look at the service industry and how that's been devastated, I think we've got to support the folks that just don't have an opportunity right now. And I think the best way to do it is to look at, you know, what's the average hourly rate in a certain geographic region, and sort of target the supplemental income to that. So you're not over rewarding, but you're not under rewarding, right? So everybody's, you know, the problem is it's so dependent on the individual household. You may have somebody that was making $70,000 or $80,000 a year that is furloughed or lost their job, and this supplemental income is just, you know, helping them just get by. And you have others that were making 13, 14, and this has been sort of a windfall for them, which is great, because hopefully they're putting that money to good use and helping the economy, which is what we were trying to do. So I think we definitely need to continue to support it. I just don't think it's a one size fit all, which is what the 600 a week was nationwide.
Don't we have the technology and the data to probably do a more surgical type of approach to this?
I would hope so. And I look, I think there are some states that are probably well positioned to be able to do that, and others that aren't. You know, I'm not familiar enough with Tennessee to know whether we could do that by area of the state and look at the average hourly wage. But if that was the case, that would be how I would approach this: is put it in the state's hand and say, you guys come up with what makes the most sense for the impacted citizens of your state.
Well, I can tell you that I looked at BLS statistics from 2019 this morning for the Johnson City MSA, and there's about 77,000 people employed that year, and the average hourly rate was $20.30 or something like that, which is below the 21.88 that PUA plus full
Right.
Tennessee benefits would pay. But four of the five largest sectors were between, three of them were between 15 something and 17 something an hour, and then food service was 10 something. You know, that accounted for probably 30,000 of those 77,000 employees who, as you said, were receiving, on average, they were receiving some sort of windfall if they had been furloughed or laid off from jobs. So I can tell you that the data is at our fingertips, it seems. You know,
Yeah.
obviously you can't come up with a perfect solution, but it sounds as though, and it sounds like you told me you had one specific example of someone for whom they decided that was too much of a disincentive or a job that you haven't been able to fill.
Yeah.
If you can talk about some specifics about that job.
Well, literally, it's within our customer service organization. We've moved or shut down our customer service group in our Dallas facility, excuse me, and moved it to Johnson City. And our starting wage is $16 an hour, and we pay an incentive comp, and we cover medical benefits. We have a 401k match of 4%. We have paid time off. I mean, it's a nice comp package, but we're competing with somebody that's staying at home and making 21 and didn't see the end in sight. So we've had a little bit of difficulty filling our customer service roles because we're not at that 20 average that you talked about. And look, I can't blame somebody in the short term to want to have that $21 rate and get to spend time at home with their kids and not go to work, right? So it's hard to argue that, but at the end of the day, it's not going to always be there, and good jobs are hard to find, and I would encourage people when they have the opportunity to take advantage of a job offer.
You and others have long touted the work ethic of this area. So is what has happened blow that perception out of the water for you, or do you think it's much more situational?
Oh, I think it is situational. Look, there's a lot of things that go into somebody's decision to stay at home, and the supplement or the unemployment is just one piece. Their own personal health, the people living in their home. You're not just talking about dollars and cents. You're really talking about making decisions on somebody's personal health and the risks that they can take. I mean, the other area that we talk about, and one of the areas that I got involved with early on when I moved here, is the general health of our population. And we have a high diabetes rate, and we have a high heart disease rate, and all those things are factors that people have to take into account right now. So it's just not purely the money, but it's a more kind of global decision that they've got to make.
And have you heard from any other employers about any challenges finding people when they have openings?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, I think in the service industry, the restaurants, I think, are having a real hard time, and I think a lot of that is they don't know how long the job's going to be there for them. If they take it, they work a week or two, and then they have to shut down the restaurant. I mean, there's a lot of insecurity there. So I really think that that's an area where our community is struggling. And if you just walk around or go into places, there are tons of people that have help wanted signs out, but most of those tend to be in that service area.
Well, Jeff, thank you as always for talking with me, and stay safe, and hope that Crown has a good August.